Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks, and this is part 3 of my crochet along for this, well, it's an Afghan, just a basic granny square Afghan, which you can make into this baby Afghan that, like I have, or you can do any particular colour scheme that you want. So, as you know, I've done this in alternate rows of pink and blue, blue and pink, so that there is the same amount of blue and pink in the blanket. That way you can use it for either a girl or for a boy. I know it's not so much of a problem these days with gender and gender neutrality, etc. But some people are traditional and they like to keep it that way. So when I'm sewing these together or crocheting them together, I'll make sure that I get them in alternate, so that you've got a pink, one that ends with a pink, one that ends with a blue, and then likewise at the bottom. So that's the only thing you really need to keep a watch for. Now, there are 2 or more ways that you can actually do this. I'm using the white that's from the project, and you can either use a big fat darning needle or this sort of darning needle. And you just need to get off a chunk of the white yarn if you're going to sew them. So I'll just do a small one now because I'm going to crochet mine together. So you thread up a darning needle with white or whatever colour you've edged yours. Now there's another way, if you've used different colours, of doing it invisibly, and I'll show you that after. So I go to the very corner and I go from the back to the front, to the very corner, front to back. So basically I have my yarn kind of going through like that, and I would just tie it off. I'm not going to tie it so that it can't be undone, because obviously I don't want to do this. I want to crochet mine together. And then you simply whip stitch. So by going into the 2 stitches from each corresponding stitch, so from each corresponding treble crochet or double crochet US terms, you just whip stitch it like this all the way down, and it looks really nice. I like the way that actually does look. I've made plenty of blankets, taking care not to go over the tail, so that you end up with 2 layers, and it just whip stitches together, and I like that. I like it's nice and kind of classic. Went for a little bit then. So that's one method, and that's perfectly okay. Makes a nice join. So I'm going to show you if I can get this knot open. It may have been inadvisable to have tied the knot, because let's undo that, and then I can just pull out my stitches. No, I'll get 2 more. That's probably the simplest way, and I can take those off when I feel like it. So I'll get some more white yarn, and I will show you how to do that invisibly. Thread up the yarn again. Thread up the needle. I hope you can hear me okay. I've still got a bit of a throat and croaky voice, but I'm sure you can hear me just fine. So we thread this up again. Okay, so with this one, we use this. We're still keeping with the alternates, but we are going to do it from the back. And we're going to go in to, so this is our stitch. You're familiar with looking at the V's of the two stitches. So instead of going through both of them, like we just did with the whip stitch, we're going to go through this back one only. Hope you can see that okay. So there you are. That's the two top of the two top loops of the stitch. There's the stitch. And so instead of going through both of them like we just have, we're going to go through this back one. So we're going to leave that one at the front. Now this way you can sew together 2 totally different colours, as long as you use one of those colours to sew it. So you can, if one was green and one was blue, as long as you used either the blue or the green, then that's fine. So I'm going to do just the one little knot, which I will have to get out later. Now with this one, I'm not going to do it very tightly, so you just catch that one loop at the back and that one loop there, which is here, and then you whip stitch them together. So again, we need to just catch that back one. So you go through one only and one only. Oops, got caught on my scissors. Sorry about the throat, I do apologise. I am a lot better though, thank goodness. So again, just through those two at the back. I think I might have got one at the front there. Let's remove the tail, that's what's causing it, I think. It's a little bit difficult to see. Right, so just the back one, and again, just that one, back one. It's a particularly sharp needle, so that's why. And again, just through the back ones. And you keep going like that. And what I'll turn it over and I'll show you how that looks. So it kind of has a little ridge. I've done it very loosely. So normally you'd pull it a little bit tight and it would sit just a little bit tighter. But you get like a little line, and this in the middle is the invisible part. If it were two separate colours, then you would not see that at all. It would just be a kind of a seamless join, as long as you're using, as I say, one of the colours that you've made your blanket with. So yeah, that's how you do it anyway. So you've got kind of like a little ridge going down. This is the front of that stitch that you've got into the back of each side, and it makes like a little trail, if you like, a little tram. So that's how to do it invisibly. So you've got normal whip stitch at the first one that we did, just sewing over, like whip stitching, so that you get this little slant. And then you've got the invisible. So now I'm going to show you how I normally do this. So I want one of each colour. I need to get my crochet hook, excuse me, and my yarn back, which fell on the floor. So I've got a 4.5mm hook. I've chosen this colour because it would be nice and easy to see. So how I do that, I've got one of each colour, and I'm going to just go into that corner stitch, both loops with my hook. I'm learning to speak. I'll get there eventually. So we go into the same stitch this side, just push it in. It's hard to see from this angle. Leave a nice long tail. The only drawback to this, it looks stunning, but there are lots and lots of tails to sew in at the end of it. So what we're going to do is going to go into each stitch, taking both loops of each corresponding stitch on either side, and just do a slip stitch them together. Now some people, when they do this, they don't slip stitch together, they do like a double crochet, you know, or single crochet in the US, where you go through both. I don't like the way that looks, so I like to slip stitch mine. I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to get it as close to the camera. Let's move that tail out of the way. As close to the camera as I can. So you go into the corresponding two stitches, so you've got that one by the gap there, and you yarn over, pull through, and just slip stitch it. And again, so you've got 4 loops you've gone through the 2 of each stitch, yarn over and pull through. And again, so you've gone through all 4, yarn over and slip stitch. And I like the way this looks, because if you do it where you do the double crochet in UK terms or single crochet in US terms, it leaves a bit of an offset stitch, like a lopsided join. Sorry, very croaky. But with this one, I will show you now. I'll just make a nice long tail. Move that out of the way. Of course, you can tidy up your corners with your nice long tail, and you must secure these in because we've not secured them. But that's how it looks. It leaves this lovely kind of bumpy join, like a ridge, and I like that ridge. I'll bring it close up. See, that's what it looks like, and it's a nice even ridge, which is what I like about it. I'll show you the other method, if I can just see if we can see the difference. So you'll go in, just to hold it a little better, go into both, bring up your loop and do your single crochet US terms, double crochet UK terms, and it leaves a slightly more raised and offset ridge. But if you prefer that, then by all means use that method. But I'm a slip stitcher myself. But there you are, that's, so I can get that out of the way. And you see the difference, it's way more pronounced, and it leaves this kind of bump, which is a little more offset than I would like. It just feels like it's leaning to one side. So I'm not keen on that. I much prefer it with the slip stitch method, which is what I've always done. So you've got 3 ways that you can do it. You can do it invisibly with a whip stitch at the back loops. You can do it with a whip stitch for the whole thing, which when you pull it a little tighter, it does do just like a little nice little slant. Or you can bite the bullet and do this, but the only trouble is you will have a lot of tails, and you do need to secure these beginning ones because otherwise it will unravel. So I just use that to either tidy up this so that it's nice and tight, or you will get a little tiny diamond, should I say, a little tiny diamond where you've joined them, and you can use your yarn tails to just secure that so that it looks perfect. But that's how I join mine, like this. It's my preferred method, but you can use whichever method you wish. There is a join as you go as well, but although I've done that with mile a minute, I'm not really keen to do that with the granny square. But I hope you've enjoyed that. This is part 3. Once I've sewn all mine together, I'll come back to you and show you the border. So I'll leave you with that one for now. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'll put a link to parts 1 and 2 into the description boxes, and I'll link all of mine together. I've not been able to do that lately. I've not been too well, but now I'm back on my feet, I'll do that. So thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye for now.